everyone, I'm Miranda from Miranda May Designs and co-creator at Piglet's Closet. Thanks for being here with me today. I just thought I would hop on quickly while I have some time. I'm working on a project that I'm doing some blending with the paint. And so I thought I would just hop on and show you. This is a side that I've already done. And so what I did was prepped the piece. I painted it with the Paint Couture Bond, the primer, and then I painted in 3 different colors. So I used Vera at the Ballet, which is a nice light pink, and then the Sugar Plum, which is a deeper kind of pink color. And then I also used the color from CC's collection called Grayful Dead. And I like this color because it has a slight undertone of purple blue in it, and so I think it goes really well with the pinks and the tones of this piece. So I thought I would hop on. I'm going to do the last side here and just show you the blending. So I chose, people do blending in different ways. For this particular piece, I chose to do more of a circular kind of wispy, cloudy blend. And my reasoning for that is because it's a more of like a whimsical, it's going to be a piece for maybe a nursery or for a shower gift or a baby. And what I'm going to do is end up adding, I'm trying to decide between a couple transfers, but there's this Hello Baby transfer that I really like. It has all different kinds of animals. And I think the one I'm actually going to use for this piece is called Sweet Dreams. And it's got the balloons and the hot air balloon, the animals and clouds. So I really wanted it to be a wispy kind of cloud feeling to accent the transfer. So I'll probably add some hot air balloon, maybe stencils to it as well, and just kind of see. But that will be part 2. So part 1, I just wanted to hop on and just do a quick little video of how to blend. And people do blending different ways, and it really is something that takes practice. And to be honest, I'm still practicing and learning every time I do it. The good news is if you get into it and you do it and you don't like it, you can just paint back over it. And you really don't need to paint too much, because I would just kind of paint a layer here of the light color and the dark color and then just start over again, okay? So blending light colors and dark colors together is really the most challenging. When you get into it, it's good to kind of stick with similar, like these 2 colors blend a lot easier because they're similar deepness and color. And so I'm going to show you kind of the difference when we do both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the piece around. I'm going to make sure you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. And I may move you to this side so that I don't kind of get in your way as I'm working. All right, so let me grab my stool. So with blending, it's really important to just find the brushes that you like to use. I prefer, when I'm doing more of a kind of that whimsical, wispy, circular, to use a round or oval brush. And some of my brushes are drying or dirty, so I'm kind of going with what I have today. I would normally probably use a smaller brush. This is just a synthetic brush from Wise Owl. I love it. It works really well for blending. This one's a little big. It works for the top part because I've got more space up here, but for this bottom part I'm using a smaller brush. So kind of, you just play around with it. When I'm doing like more of a horizontal blend, I'll use, what you'll see me use to paint on some of this is the blue ice brushes. The Klingon brushes are amazing. Their ability to kind of hold the paint and coverage is great. The blue ice brushes are thinner, whereas like my Klingon brushes are thicker. So it's really personal preference. What works for you. So we're gonna start at the top And I've already, just for time's sake, put a second coat on, but I'm gonna go ahead and make sure the paint is wet on the top piece. And I have not coated this in a second coat yet. So we're just gonna start. And I'm just gonna get, because you just want kind of a wet layer, 2 layers that you're working to blend together. Make sure this blends in. Paint Couture, the coverage is wonderful. It's a self-leveling paint, which is awesome, and helps a lot. So as long as you don't mess with it too much, you put it on, get it how you like it, and then leave it alone, it will self-level just fine. So I'm gonna lay on this coat a little bit heavier because I haven't put on a second coat yet, and I wanna make sure it's covered. Because once you do the blending, you really don't wanna come back and try to put another coat on, because it will just mess up your blend, especially with the light and the dark color. And then I don't worry when I'm doing this part, especially on like my first coat. You can see I just really didn't worry about where they joined. I just put on the coat, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of improve that look with blending them together. And here I'm just gonna leave it for now, because I'm gonna come back and put, when we do the gray, another coat. Let me tilt you down a little bit more. Another coat when we get ready to do that piece, so that we have 2 wet coats. So really important, lots of paper towels are needed. When I am blending, a lot of times I'll try to, the circular motion kind of depends on what I'm trying to do. So because these colors are so different, oftentimes I'll kind of change the rotation of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna start over here so you can see. So I'm gonna go pull up my paint, the dark color, into the light color, and I'm just gonna kind of start working that across. And I'm gonna wipe the excess off as best as I can as I go, because it really makes a difference. And you'll see, this is the first kind of go pass over. So we're trying to get those 2 layers blended together. And I think you can see I'm just wiping off as I go. So I'll go a little bit, kind of get an idea of how much paint is going up and down from the dark to the light, and light to the dark. I'm just gonna work my way across. Okay, so that's kind of what I do for number 1. So if you can see that, it's kind of blended. Not really. I want to pull them apart a little bit more. So I'm going to go and I'm going to pull some of this up here and down. Okay, so now we're really kind of bringing them together, and essentially in this blend making a few different colors, different shades of the colors. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. So, and because this is more of that wispy cloud look, I'm okay with the difference. It doesn't have to be perfect color. Like it's very kind of cloud wispy looking to me, and that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to, I do want to kind of blend this a little bit better. So I'm going to come in here and just put a layer of the lighter color, and I'm going to wipe off my brush really well, because I want to get as much dark off initially as I can. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull this in. See how that's kind of just blending and creating that wispy. I'm gonna leave it because the one thing I've learned about blending is if you overdo it, you'll wipe off, you know, you'll wipe off your paint. You'll just have to start all over again. I've learned the lesson the hard way where I want to fix one little thing, and I just I have to end up starting all over again. So I am going to just up above here, I'm just gonna take this and make sure that I've got any color difference kind of blended in with my big brush that's just been used for the Vera. And then this will dry darker. You can see kind of it looks lighter right now, but it dries a little bit darker, and so this will all kind of blend together. So to me, this looks very kind of cloudy and wispy, and that's the look I'm going for. So that's great. So I'm going to now work on this last one to show you, and then I'll hop off and let you go about your day or evening. So I'm starting down here with the gray, and again, I haven't put a second coat on the gray yet, so I'm putting this part on a little bit heavier. And you'll see I have the legs taped off down here because I am gonna leave them natural. So this was a chest that I rescued. It was going on the curb, going to the burn pile, and I was able to sand it down. It's solid wood, and I added the feet to it. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be super cute when we're done. And I may hop on a little bit later once paint dries or tomorrow and kind of show you what I'm doing with some of the transfers. So I've got a coat of gray, and I am just gonna touch up with a light coat right along the edge there of the sugar plum for our blending. And for this, because I have less space, so I want the blend to be a little bit smaller in width, I'm going to use a smaller brush. Okay, so this one's probably 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm just gonna get it cleaned off. This brush isn't one of my favorite quality wise, but my other ones are drying and or dirty. So I am going to pull in a circular motion to the left because I'm gonna kind of pull the maroon in and the gray up into it, but it allows me to kind of control how much gray I have coming up. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Get you a little bit closer. I'm gonna wipe and just kind of keep going across. I go all the way across if I can in the first go. And then I'm gonna come back, and this one I'm actually gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna pull some more of the gray up. And I don't need it to be in a line, okay? Because for this, again, with kind of the wispy clouds, like I kind of like that organic variation in height on the blend. And you can blend anything, right? And however you want, whatever works for the piece that you are working on. So that's what's kind of fun about a lot of this is that, you know, you get to customize, put your kind of twist on things, your talent, and make it work for the piece and the vision that you have. There's no right or wrong way. Okay, so I do want to just kind of make sure that my edges are kind of matching along the sides height-wise. So I've done the back, and that looks pretty good. And I don't always do the back on pieces. If I know they're going to go against a wall, you know, like if the piece is obviously not going to be put in the center of a room, and a lot of pieces come, like dressers and cabinets and stuff come with backs that don't really look good painted anyway. So I often won't finish the back of my pieces, but on something like a toy chest like this, it could go in the middle of the room. And so I did finish the back on it. I do want it from all sides. So you can see a little bit, turn it. So I did from all sides so that it can be put or moved anywhere, and it won't be just kind of this big eyesore on the back of the chest. So there we go. That is how I am doing blending for this piece. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer here so you can see. Hopefully the whimsical, wispy, cloud-like blending. And I think it's gonna turn out really cute. So I'm gonna do, as I said before, some transfers. I'll probably pop on after I let this dry. I'll probably let it dry overnight. And then I'm gonna play with the transfers, maybe some stencils, maybe some hand painting of clouds. So we'll just kind of, that's the part that I enjoy. I love, you know, putting my artistic touch on things. Painting can be fun, but it's the step that I like the least. As we get through the prepping and the painting part, and then finally get down to the kind of that decorating and playing around, that's my favorite part. So, but we have this ready, drying and ready for next time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Thanks for joining me, Miranda at Miranda May Designs, and check out Piglet's Closet if you are interested in Paint Couture paint or any of the products transfers I showed you just briefly today. And they have lots of different ideas and pictures and all sorts of inventory and options. So thank you. We will see you soon.